Hey there. How's everybody doing? Tonight's a big night. We're bringing Courtney on. Hi, Ray. How are you? Reeks, Echo. How's everybody doing? Okay. There's Ashley. Hi, sweetie. How you doing? Happy Memorial Day weekend. Anybody doing anything fun? Hi, Dorelio. Where have you been? Hey, Lexi, Kira. There's Courtney. We're going to let some people jump on Courtney before we get started. Hi.
I'll be back.
Okay. Oh, tell him I said happy birthday. Hope you have a good time. Hey, GD, how you doing? We're just letting some people jump on.
Caramel macchiato.
Yes, hot. Thank you. So today is going to be a fun night because it has nothing to do with me. It's all about you guys. It's all about, we always talk about, I talk to you guys about going from famine to feast, especially during a time where a lot of people are, honest to God, have really been regulated and programmed by what the government and news is putting out there in reference to fear and not being able to be successful right now, and everybody's worried about everything that's going to happen, when in reality this is a time that you can create and actually draw on your own creativity and what your goals and dreams were, and basically create feast from famine. This is a time that you can create abundance. And I do work with, hey Jim, I do work with you guys. I do the readings and things like that, and we do a lot of things that talk about life path and career choices and directions that you're supposed to go in. And through sessions, basically we do sessions. I read you, tell you what I see for you, what paths, because everybody has two paths that we go on in life, and we discuss, and basically I let you know that this is the path you're supposed to be taking. And then when we discuss it through your readings, we then make the decision and basically discuss how you should get there. And then it's a continued process. But what I wanted to do is, because I'm so very proud of how some of you that I've worked with have changed your lives and really created something special for yourselves, and that's going to draw into abundance for such a long time, and really on the path of doing what it is that you truly want to do with your life, not something that you've just settled for. Perfect example, and then I'll bring Courtney on. I did a session with an absolutely precious girl yesterday in Connecticut, and we were discussing what a career path was and things like that. And through the discussion, I said, you settled. You're not doing what you wanted to do, although you're good at it. You're going to be able to make money at it. It's not where your passion lies and what you wanted to do. So, through the discussion that we had, she basically had always wanted to be an esthetician, somebody who worked with makeup and skincare and things of that nature. And her dad, who of course our parents love us, felt that that wasn't going to be a job that was going to be lucrative for her. So she went to school for, I believe it was digital artwork and design and websites and things like that. So I looked at her, I said, you can combine both. So yes, she is going to get her degree, which is great, and finish what she started, but she's also going to work on the path of creating what it is she wanted. So she's doing a little bit of a shift, so change of direction. She's going to complete what she started, but she's going to go after what she's been thinking about doing for years. Because regardless, no matter how much we want to make others happy, when you're doing things that involve your life and your future, you want to do something that you're passionate about, that you love doing. Because number one, you're going to enjoy going to work every day, even the frustrating ones, because we all know life ain't perfect. Let's not get it twisted. But you're also going to get to the point where it's not like you're going to work. And you're going to work even harder because you're passionate about it. And that's where we get growth. So, which was really cool. So Courtney had kind of been going back and forth on what she was supposed to be doing, what she really wanted to do, what was going to make sense, because her husband is in the military, so they do travel a lot. So what would she be able to do that was lucrative, that was going to make her happy, that would also be able to move when she moved? So she decided to create Feast from Famine, and is in the process. She actually started working on her own, but she's now creating her own LLC for her company, and I'll let her describe it and discuss what it is that she does. So we're going to bring Courtney on, and she's going to talk about the session that we had and what her business is and how you all can find her as well, because we're a family, so we hold each other up and we help create abundance for each other. Everybody's got each other back on here. And then I'll keep my eye on questions that are coming up, so you'll be able to ask her questions and she will answer them the best way that we can. So Courtney, call on in. Come on in, Mama. Hey, Brooke. I think she's going to call in, but I don't know if she remembers. She remembers to do it, but it's just there's such a delay on this thing. I got to find her. I gotta find Courtney so I can bring Courtney on. Probably makes more sense. Where's my Courtney? And you have to understand, I am so proud of you guys when you do this too. I'm so proud. Because you guys are kind of like a direct reflection of me. Alright, Courtney, I'm trying. Courtney, why is it not letting me add you? Oh, it didn't come up when you did it. Your notification when you went to go on live, Mama. We all know when it comes to computer and IT, I'm not very good at it. Hey!
For it to connect.
How are you?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm so excited for today. So excited for today.
I am excited to share with everybody, and hope if they haven't had a session with you yet, they need to. I'm going to tell them why.
Oh, thank you. Well, introduce yourself. Tell them who you are.
Hey, everybody. I am Courtney. I live in San Diego currently, but I'm from Texas. My sister introduced me to Elena last year sometime, and we had our first session. When was that? November?
It was in November. It was
Yeah.
in November in San Clemente.
November last year. So I was in this weird in-between where I was almost done with my bachelor's degree in business, and I had done a couple of different cool jobs, a lot of stuff in golf course work and stuff, but I was lost and I felt like I wasn't fulfilling what I should be doing. And so that was the purpose of our session. And we talked a little bit about what my goals were, what my lifestyle was like, and how I could incorporate a career into that. And so for me, it's always important to provide, even if I might not have to. It's in my blood. Like, I'm super work driven. So it's really important to me to have my own career and be independent while my husband does what he does. And we also move all the time. Elena said, I'm a military spouse, so it's hard for us to find a job and keep it and create a career out of it when you're constantly moving every couple of years. It's super hard to work your way up in a company. And I've always wanted to be like a manager or a top of the, like, director of something, in charge of people and helping people grow and build. But it's just kind of impossible to do that. So I've found so far. So I was super lost, and that was what I talked with Elena about. And one of the things she helped me do during our session was kind of give me the guidance that I needed to break down what it was I was supposed to be doing and what it was I loved to do. Because I've had a lot of cool jobs that I really enjoyed, but I haven't really found my thing. And I love event planning. I planned my own wedding last year, so never didn't have a wedding planner, anything. So love doing that type of stuff. I love doing travel agent stuff. Like, I plan all my trips from start to finish, find the cheapest everything. So I love doing anything with planning. What else? I have great customer service, so I love customer service. I love being in front of people, helping people, building people up. So that was another thing that was important to me. And we talked about potentially what could be the most fit for me. Back
And you were going to school for. Now tell them what you're actually, she just graduated. Everybody say congratulations. I'm so proud of her. And thank you so much to your husband for the sacrifices he makes and you make being in the military and what he does. It's important that so very appreciated and thankful for him and you, because if he's got to go away, you got to give him up for us.
yeah.
But we had discussed what were you going to school for. And now you have to understand, guys, what she was doing, because she is driven and she doesn't stop, although she likes to try and have a life too. She was going to school and she was working and planning because she was getting married. She was going back to Texas to get married in December. So she had so much going on. So then you have a crazy person like me, who sits there and starts reading you and goes, hold up a minute. You're supposed to be starting your whole business. This is what you're going to have to do. Whether you like it or not, what you choose is going to be temporary, because this is what you're meant for, which makes more sense to you. So what was it what is it that you got your degree in?
I got my degree in business management, business admin. So I had no idea what I wanted to do with that. I kind of was trying to figure it out, which is what, when we talked about doing something in like hospitality, like hotels, something to where I can help. I'm around people, customer service, and growth. And it can be a very mobile position. Like there's help. I mean, there's hotel everywhere. So I could go and do that with that.
Well, weren't you, I believe what you were first thinking about doing, and I told you it absolutely will never work for you. It's silly for you to even try, and the hours were going to be insane. Wasn't it that you wanted to start working for a company for advertisements and things like that, where you were dealing with that type of thing initially? And we kind of put that down in a second. We were like, oh no, this just was not going to work for you.
Of doing, like, being in charge of a department doing that type of stuff, but
yeah, for an ad company.
Something to where like working project based, starting businesses, helping starting businesses on social media and stuff. But that's something that it'd be long hours. And
we figured it would be way too long hours for you. You wouldn't be as creative as you needed to be, because you have to understand she's extremely creative. She's very good at scheduling things, designing things, putting things together, planning events, handling it. Like, she's like a go-to. She can handle everything, and you can do it with two arms and books on her head and get it all done very easily. So for her to get trapped in an office all day long where you're just worrying about coming up with a presentation, and that was her life, that's not something that was feasible for her. Number one, because it would have driven her nuts and she would have been miserable. And it's all about you guys not being miserable. You want to go after what makes you happy. And if it makes you happy and you're passionate about it, you can be successful. There's no way you can fail if you actually put the work in. If you do something because you're good at it, you got a degree in it, you have a good job, it's not that you won't be successful, because you still would have been successful. I said you're still good, but it's not a job you would have been able to keep. So besides the fact you wouldn't have been happy, most of these places do not have places you can transfer into, unless they're big companies.
Yeah.
So that's why we kind of put a kibosh on that now. And it was funny because she was getting ready to put a job applications for a couple jobs that had come up right before the session. And then she decided during the session to put an application in.
Literally, on my drive from San Clemente back down to San Diego, I was thinking of like what it was that I wanted to do. And I thought of this resort that had a golf course connected to it, because I am familiar with the golf industry, and that is something that does interest me. So I was like, okay, 2-in-1, hospitality with golf, like there's something here. And I'm big on growing. I always want to move up, do more, wear like 5 hats, which is good. But on the drive home from our session, I thought of this golf course here in Carlsbad. And I was like, this is perfect. I'm going to just look on their website and see if they have anything that would interest me. And they had a conference concierge position. Now, I was kind of like, I have no idea what that means, but it sounds like events, it sounds like planning, and it sounds like helping people. And it's at a really, really well-known resort with a golf course. I was like, sounds like a package. And to me, I believe in like everything happens for a reason. And people were asking like, how did you get that position? And I was like, I literally went to the website and clicked careers. Like most people job search on Indeed or like wide range, something that's going to pop up the job application for you. You don't, this one I like seeked it out and it happened to be there. Is the only thing I applied for. And I got called in for an interview then like not even a week later, all from just me thinking of like, what's my place? Where do I feel like I should be going towards? And they offered me the job right then and there. And honestly, I loved the job. Now I'm going to say right now, I'm no longer in that position, which is what I'm going to tell you about. But
we said that you should make the change as far as work. So you said, should I start applying? And I said, yes. You had an interview within 2 days of our session. And then remember we said this is just a stepping stone. This isn't your forever.
And I didn't really know what that meant because I was like, okay, stepping stone. Like stepping stone as I'm going to start at the bottom and I'm going to work my way up with this company. But that really wasn't what it meant. I figured it out pretty quick. Plus,
I told you were supposed to have your own business too. I said you're supposed to have your own company.
So I was thinking like, okay, event management, but this will give me experience and I'll get, I could start doing this on a business on the side while I'm still doing this. But then I found out very quickly that as time goes on, my life is still going to be moving. I'm constantly going to have to move. And so being stationary at a resort is just not feasible for me. So I thought about, okay, can I transfer to a different Omni location? I was working for Omni. And that I talked to the general manager of the resort about that. I was like, I need to be able to move and I want to be able to move up. Where should I go? What route should I take? And he kind of just like, it was like a flat line. Nothing. No, like, oh, you could do this, or you could go this way, try this department, and then this would bring you to remote work. Nothing. It was kind of like, you could try to do sales, but you have to have a lot of experience to be remote and move around. So honestly, that turned me off instantly. And within a week, I was already trying to figure out what to do next. Lucky for me, I don't know how many people can say this, but COVID happened and it kind of forced our doors to be closed as it does to everybody else. I mean, that's obvious, but in the beginning of March, I was already talking with a girlfriend here who owns her own PR company about me doing remote work, and she referred me to a company to do that. And then all the COVID stuff happened. And so I ultimately got to quit what they were probably going to lay me off anyways. So I look at it as it was perfect timing because I was dreading quitting. They really needed me in my position with all the things that happened. They were lacking it. And so I was pumped about it, but I also knew that it wasn't my path. So I did something about it. And luckily I got to quit very nicely because of what happened with the world. And that led me to, I now have 2 clients. So I kind of want to do social media work, kind of want to do jack of all trades, which is what I'm going to do because that's what I'm capable of. And with that, I'm going to start my own business with it. And with my 2 clients, I'm part-time right now, but it is a lot of word of mouth with the work that I'm doing. Virtual assistants is kind of hard to get your foot in the door, but not saying that you can still do it. Anybody can do it, but it does help to have people that know of other people that would use it. So I'm pretty pumped for it. I want to, my goal by the end of the year is to create an LLC and go from there. My big goal is to be able to have enough clients to hire other military spouses and help them create a career that works for the lifestyle that we live. So that's my big goal, but stepping stones. So I'm taking baby steps. I'm trying to remember that it won't happen overnight, but it is a process and I want to do it right the first time. So
And hello, Dominic. Everybody say hi to Dominic. He just jumped on. Thank you so much, Dominic. So let's not get it twisted, Courtney. You're not waiting you've already started your business.
Right.
You started it. When you decided to say, you know what, I am not going to become a victim of what's going on in the world. I'm not going to accept the fact that I'm working for a company who is a resort, but evidently from somebody else who had worked with them, you closed the door and you talked to her because she was also a military wife. And she actually was honest with you and said, it's not what you're looking for. If you want, you should go off, look for something that's going to be more feasible for you. So you were brave enough because you knew what you wanted to do to start your own business. So in the midst of everything, despite what everybody was saying, when everybody was so afraid, you said, you know what, now is my opportunity and time. And I have been telling all of you this since this thing happened. Don't listen to all the negativity. You are allotted the time and the opportunity to create abundance, to draw, feast from famine, and to create your life. And you are not one that could ever be put in the box. Remember, anybody on this live, everybody's anything and anything but basic, which means you can't be in a box where you're stuck somewhere 14 hours a day. You do travel around the world because of what your husband does for a living. You are going to want to have freedom. Plus, you love organizing things. So you already have 2 clients, and I was ready to get you going. I said, great, what are you doing? You're like, well, let me get everything going first because you are a perfectionist. So you do have
Yes.
2 solid clients you work for. So you just coming up, you're already 1099. You already have your own company.
Yeah.
It's just you right now. By the end of the year, you're going to be able to, because you're looking for your name and you're branding yourself, but you're already doing the work and owning your own business and putting it out there. And when and the thing is she is a virtual assistant. She can help with social media and marketing and answering emails. She can also help plan weddings and events. Anything that somebody needs, she's capable of doing. And she has stuff you can go and look at that shows how good she's at. So so you already have your business. We're just coming up with a name, finding the right name for you. We're branding you, but you're already in business. So anybody that needs you can start utilizing you.
Yep.
And I'm so proud of you because through the process, we did this as you came on the lives first when your sister told you about me to find out what this was all about. Because I worked with your sister, my other baby first, because you 2 have become like my children. You guys are my family. Well, you all are my family, but you know how that goes. When I work with you all the time, and I see you're in crisis, I give you a phone call and go, yo, what's going on kind of thing. But, so you had been on a couple of lives and we had done a little bit of work together, and then you booked a session, and that you changed within 2 days. You started changing your life. Then you were just going through the process and just through coming on the lives, and then we're going to announce something else you're going to be doing at the end of this thing with your sister. You have grown so much. So to see you, because this is the reason why I do it. This is why I do what I do, because it's like when I say that I'm a medium on a mission, it's because I want you to be happy and healthy and abundant while doing no harm and having the life you were meant to have. And you're doing that. You were brave enough to step out of the box and say, even amidst all this craziness, I'm going to start my own business. I'm going to do what makes me happy, and I'm going to set my own guidelines and go by my rules. Because you're a doer, you're not a follower. You're a sheep, you're not a shepherd. So all those things we've been talking about, you've put into play, which means anybody else on here can do this. We've had a couple of people who have started their own business through this, which is great, which I'm so proud to see, because you do have the time. Utilize it. So let's really get it straight what you do. So anybody else out here that may need her services, has a business that, yeah, absolutely. I'm just doing a live. That needs her services, what is it exactly that you do?
So
what is your business that you do?
When you say you're virtual, that can mean a lot of things. It could mean calendar management, it could mean email management, it could be inbox management, it could be social media driven, bookings, taking care of calendars, so right now, I kind of do a little bit of a couple of things. I manage somebody's LinkedIn account, which is doing messaging and networking for somebody. So that is a little bit of one thing I can do, like managing your social media accounts, being your voice, because I know a lot of people nowadays with social media, things grow so fast that you need to still run your business, but you have to run your social media too. So that's where I come in. I can help run your social media, post content, post anything that you need, plan it for you, take care of it for you, because that is a huge thing in business right now, social media. Then on the other side with my other client, I've been actually booking people on podcasts. So I am considered a booking specialist. And what that means is kind of a little bit of everything. It's email outreach, reaching out, networking, finding your niche for whatever your brand is, your target audience. So I've been doing that a lot. That's something totally new that I just happened to be doing for this client, and I've grown really far with it. So I actually really like doing booking stuff. And that with booking, it comes calendar management, planning, communication, inbox management. Like I am the middleman for my client and the people that I get her on podcasts with. So trying to think, I do travel booking stuff. It's really broad. Like it's more like I like to meet with people when they're looking for some help is what I like to say, because I can do a lot of different things, and everybody is different. Every business is different. Every business needs something else. And so I do like to create packages for people as well, that fits their needs, because things are so wide range. Like you could focus on one thing or 10 things. So I like to have that one-on-one conversation with my potential clients before we even establish like what it is I can help them with. I like to ask them what they need first, because it gives me a better understanding of where I want to go with them. And instantly I'm already thinking of a plan. So Darylyn asked, PR work or assistant? Yes, both. I'm working more towards being an assistant is what I'm focusing on, but I'm also some more PR stuff, which is great to have too. So it's a learning process. So there's nothing, I like to say there's nothing I can't do. I'm constantly growing. I had a client that I started out with, didn't do what she asked me to do before, didn't have experience doing it, and here I am killing it. So you can do anything you want, and experience is huge. So that's kind of what I do.
So basically, any type of business you have, be it a small business, if you're a professional who needs somebody to look at your emails, answer your emails for you, get you the information you need. Okay, you really need to be looking at this right now. Somebody who needs to, then you're setting up their calendars for them. Traveling, when you're traveling, this is where somebody wants to go, so you're finding the best hotels, the best flights, the best cruises, whatever it is, and you're booking it for people, trying to get deals with hotels and different resorts to do that. So that's what I'm getting there. Public relations, you are getting to the point where you're going to be able to be kind of like a publicist since you're working with booking companies. Now, the girl that you're doing the bookings for, is you booking her on different podcasts? So you're seeking out podcasts, or are you booking people on her podcast?
No, so she's a public speaker, a branding and marketing expert. So I book her on other people's podcasts, digital stages. Now a lot of things everything's virtual. So virtual conference, speaking things. So yeah, I'm booking her on.
So without realizing what you are a publicist.
Yeah, I'm a.
So now we're all working, you're all doing like a session we would be doing right now that's helping create more abundance in our business, because you're booking her on other shows. You're starting out with podcasts. You could be doing, the cable things like Compound Media, Sirius XM, things of that nature that are geared to what she's doing, okay? But that's being a publicist. So then you have to research in how you get somebody's information out. So you could actually work with people once you use her as because you have your first client you are doing this for.
Yeah.
So you are now a publicist as well. So you keep records of everything you're doing then, and then you're able to do those releases that explain so-and-so is going to be the press releases. Yeah. So start researching how to do the press releases, which I will send you information on.
Okay.
Because then you're going to say, yes, I got this person booked on this, 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 and this. So now she's for anybody who's in the entertainment industry, anybody who's writers, anybody who has anything to do with what they want to get what they're doing out there and be more well known. You are doing that as well. So that's something else you're doing, which Martina, you know all about that, Mama. Okay, so now there's another fun thing that she does is she plans. She is an amazing planner as far as like weddings.
Yeah.
And bachelorette parties and bachelor parties and sweet 16s, and she's very trendy as well. She can actually mix old with new. Everything she does, even when it would be more country, has an elegant spin on it. She would have to post things from her wedding. So how would you go about, like in reference, if somebody was getting married, got engaged, you're planning their engagement party with them, what does that entail? Are you helping them pick the place that they're going to have their engagement party and what they're going to do there? Is it from start to finish? How do you go through that process with your wedding planning?
So with wedding planning, because I did my own wedding, I don't think there's any better experience you could get than doing that. I like to start small and do like engagement parties, bridal parties, bachelorette parties, and then I also can help you walk yourself through the process of planning the wedding. So maybe you want to plan your wedding, but you just need somebody to help you, guide you. I can do that, or I can do it all for you, picking your venue, scheduling you to go on venue tours. And this is virtual work. I could very well be there and help you do this.
You don't need to be.
But I don't need to be. So that's the beauty of it for me is I can do it from my computer. I will start to finish, help you know what you need, help your vision come through. I used Pinterest, a Pinterest board. That was my best friend. So really, if you want small parties, large parties, even like grad parties, or that's want to do a reception for your wedding, after your wedding, if you want small, big, whatever, I'm down for it. So
So it's a little bit of everything. So it's really, so she's at the very start of her business and she's already starting to be successful and really figuring out what she's passionate about. But like I said, you're a publicist now, honey. You already started the work of a publicist. When I had a publicist, she booked me on shows. That's what she did. She created press releases that got put in, across the United States, like when I was on the Jenny McCarthy show and things like that. She handled all that for me, and she charged fees monthly in reference to do this work. When she was local, because you have such a benefit, because right now you're in San Diego. So you're also close to LA. So you are able to book shows in San Diego and in LA. So you can go with your client there, okay? But you're also able to do it virtually because she books people in this one. She books people in, thank you, when she's in New York, because she's based out of New York. Her name is Lainey Spicer. She books people in LA, or LA clients she books in New York. So you don't have to be physically in the state to do this.
she's on the East Coast, my client that I book for. So
yeah,
virtual. I don't know where she is. It doesn't matter. I can do it anywhere. So no limitations. I wanted my business to be very versatile and be able to be whatever it is to be, whatever it needs to be for the client. So, and I've grown a lot with connections too. So if it's something that I don't know how to do, if it's marketing based, that's like SEO, like something more specific that I'm not familiar with, I already have contacts that are very good, have a lot of clients themselves, and somebody that I can refer you to as well. So even if you're not sure if I can handle it, or I know if I have the experience to do it, I already have the people to help you if I can do it. So and the greatest thing about this is you're part of a network now.
Yeah. Like, so there's people on here that are getting married. There are entertainers on here. Like we have Little Miss Lucy. She needs to be booked. Do you understand what I'm saying? Yeah. And there's a lot of things depending on what it is. There's certain things you have rates for, certain things you work on commission for. Right. So anybody that feels, and she's a go-getter, she doesn't stop, and she doesn't, her Courtney's tendency is not to fail. She doesn't. So she works so hard until she gets what her task is done and does it well. So that's so important to have somebody like that on your side to help you do this. So there's so many people are on here that you would even be able to refer one to another person to.
Right.
Somebody else could refer. I have photographers on here that are photographers, fashion photographers, and wedding photographers that could turn around and say, oh, you're getting married. If you need a little bit of help, they can put you in their arsenal. We have a wedding planner that can help you. So it's so important to come on to something like this because, look, there's so many people you can connect and you can help each other grow together.
Yeah.
So you're individually abundant, but you're creating an echo. So for you even coming on this live right now and explaining about your experience, you're helping somebody else do the same thing, maybe giving them the extra push where they're brave enough to turn around and take the chance. Because you can always go back to getting a regular job if you wanted to, but that's not you.
I know, and I thought of that even the past couple months. I was like, oh, maybe I'll just go back part-time somewhere because I'm feeling like I need more. But I have to tell myself to take a step back because I'm a go-getter, but I need to let things work themselves out and trust that patience and time will take over and do what it needs to do. So one thing Elena's taught me is to be patient and to let things happen the way that they're supposed to happen. But you also have to put yourself in place to allow them to happen. You have to get that right. And I remember when we were going into our session, very first session, one of the things she said is like, I'm going to tell you what you need to do, but if you don't do anything about it, if you don't move forward with it, then that's on you, not me. And I took those words to heart. I mean, literally on my drive home, I was like, I'm doing it. And I've heard her on her lives tell many people, like, did you do what I told you to do? And they're like, well, no, not yet. And well, there you go. So when you're given an opportunity, you have to allow it to be something. It's going to be anything. If you don't allow it to be anything, then it's never going to be anything. So she's helped me a lot with growth and guidance and learning to listen to myself and let things happen the way that they're supposed to.
And also going after things because, you know, when you want something, you have to go after it and create it. You can't just wait for it to happen to you.
Right.
A lot of people I'll do sessions with and I'm like, oh, yeah, this and this and this is going to happen. And that's why we discuss this is what you need to do to get there.
Right.
Because if I didn't tell you to do that, a lot of people would turn around, come back 3 months later and go, oh, it never happened. And I'm like, but what did you do? Did you do what we discussed? And if they say no, I'm like, that's not my fault. You change. If you expect after a session, that is your opportunity to take what your future is and meant for you and to choose the path you're going to go on and then go after it even harder and knowing that the outcome is going to be what you want. Like you could have stayed on your one path and you would have had a job and been fine.
Yeah.
Or you could have gone and done what you really wanted to do with a little bit more work and create more abundance and have more happiness because it's what's truly meant for you. But if you had just sat there and waited and didn't do anything about it, nothing would have happened. You would have changed your future in that second. Yeah. So when you're given information from somebody like me and it resonates with you, you have to keep working and even work harder because you know you're on the right path. So you have to go after it. And a lot of people don't. And I've fired clients because I do, you know, I work with you regularly, but I work with people on a regular basis and you guys are a direct reflection of me. So you need to be I want you to be successful. Right. I'm invested in you. And when I deal with clients that just will come back every month, every week, every 3 months, and they're telling the same story, and I'll look at you, and they say, but you didn't do a damn thing I told you to do.
Yeah.
I said, how can I help you if we keep discussing the same thing and you refuse to jump off that hamster wheel? You know, eventually I'm going to say, I says, if you tell people you work with me, you better tell me that I tell you what to do and you just ignore me and do the opposite thing, and that I have nothing to do with why you're not advancing in your life or still stuck in the same miserable situation. Yeah. So there are people when I know that I can help them, I'm like, I'm here if you need me. We've gone through this for a while, but until you're ready to truly make a change, there's no reason for you to keep wasting money.
Right.
If you're not going to do it,
right.
You know, because I'm about creating abundance, not just taking people's money and saying, see you in a couple months. You know what I'm saying?
Definitely.
That's why I'm so proud of you and what you've done, because it's huge. It's a big deal. But don't turn around and say you're forming your own. You already created your own business. You're just in the beginning stages and you're developing it now.
Right.
So you're going to become a force to be reckoned with. And I really want you to pursue the publicist end of it.
Okay. I'll look
And
into
especially now, you want to look into it. And I will send you like the links, like where, like she would send me a copy of my press release of the places where you send it. Because right now you have a lot of entertainers and a lot of people that aren't working for a while. They need other venues to keep out there and stay relevant. You're the one that can get them out there and help get them out there. Do you understand what I'm saying? And get them booked on the show. So these shows you're forming relationships with, you know, you want to be able to expand. So being a publicist is actually a good thing for you as well.
Okay.
Being a publicist, along with being an assistant, and you're going to have more fun because the thing is being a virtual assistant is fine. You get bored very easy.
Yeah.
You're very good at it, but you need a little bit more. You like to do. You like people. You're a doer. You know. I mean, even when you did your lifestyle shoot, you're able. You have a photographer that did your shoot that you love. You can actually have clients that are looking and need these pictures done. You can book them with the photographer. Now what happens, your client is paying you because this is what you do for them. But let me tell you something, whatever person you're referring to, guess what? For whatever you do for that photographer, they should be paying you a commission.
Yeah.
Because you booked them.
Right.
So you have to understand something. So it's not just the clients that pay you. If you're working with different photographers and florists and anything like that, they should be paying you a percentage of whatever bookings you're getting. Because your clients, you're presenting it, they're trusting you, and you're basically booking them. That photographer or that florist or whoever it is didn't have to do any work except do a good job so that whatever they're doing was up to your standards as well, because you're creating a very specific brand and standards. Yeah. And guys, she's not expensive. She's not expensive at all because she's just looking to make a living. Mm-hmm. She's not like one of those people you're going to go out there and have to spend a ton of money to get this thing done. You know,
I'm willing to work with people too, because I know that a lot of startup businesses need help, and a lot of people get stuck on like, I don't know what to do. But I know what I want to do. So even if it's helping your vision come to life, it's simple as that. But yeah, I'm willing to work with people and make it what you need it to be.
Back there's the queen herself who just jumped on. Just so everybody knows, Lucy is going to come on live tomorrow, and she's going to be in full drag, and she's going to sing for everybody tomorrow night at 6:00. And then we are announcing a contest and we'll explain it tomorrow, where people are going to have the opportunity to get a little bit of work, because Lucy needs some artwork done and is developing a website and other things like that. Now, Lucy, guess, Mama, she's booking podcasts and things like that. Courtney is a publicist now, because we all just made this decision because you were doing the work anyway. So Lucy is somebody that needs somebody to back her up, because, you know, she's coming out of her shell right now. So she needs more people like me telling her what she needs to do. Mm-hmm. Oh, it is on Monday. My bad. I forgot today was Friday. It's Monday night, not tomorrow night. Thank you, Yellow Wolf. See, look at this. He was just my assistant. Yellow Wolf, you were just my assistant. Sunday Essential Sunday, and then Monday night we're doing the Mystic Monday, but we're starting it off with Lucy singing for us and announcing the contest. So any of you guys that are digital artists, anybody who does websites and things like that, you're going to be able to come on, find out what's going on with the contest, and you're going to be able to submit your stuff for everybody on here to vote on what they feel is going to be best for Lucy, but then Lucy has the final decision on who's going to be getting this work. So see how we're helping everybody, because we could have 10 people that come on and permit the work. We might only pick one person, but everybody just got spotlighted. Yeah. Because you may work better with one person and somebody else might not. So because your personalities you have to get each other. Let's just put it that way. Yeah. So you should touch base with Lucy, see what they need, make some recommendations, because Lucy needs a publicist. Lucy needs to get booked more. Got it.
Well, I'm here.
You got to and then Lucy's also designing jewelry, which is awesome.
Cool. That's awesome.
So on Lucy's website, he needs somebody that's going to be helping her upload jewelry and things like that. So there's a lot of work that goes involved to this. Plus, they're an entertainer, so Lucy needs your help.
Well, I got you. Just message me.
And that's a whole nother area to work with,
Yeah, definitely. Well,
you
also
know.
we are, you want me to talk about past life regression?
Well, first, okay, let's do this. Okay, so you started having your sessions with me. So how do you feel like having your sessions with me helped you?
It definitely gave me the guidance I needed. I was so stressed and so like lost. I had no idea. It was like taking over my emotions because I felt like I wasn't going anywhere, and that's so not me. So definitely helped me with guidance and helped me give me the kick in the butt to like go and get what I needed to do done. And it's taught me a lot about listening to myself, my inner self, to figure out like what it is that I really want, because I am always one to think about everybody else and not myself.
Mm-hmm.
So I can't change my lifestyle as a military spouse, but I can definitely do the best that I can to make my own career, and that's exactly what I'm doing. So super.
Yeah. And I've talked you down a couple of times where you were so overwhelmed and you weren't getting enough time with your spouse, and
Yeah. It's
just calm down. We got to do this.
Yeah.
So it's just, we haven't covered just professional stuff. We've done a lot of home and personal stuff too, which we're not going to share because that's hers. That's for her and me. That's not for you guys. But but she always has somebody, because I've always been there. Like I always tell everybody, you know, once I've worked with you, even on this, once you've been on the lives, that's still working with you. If you go on Mystic Mondays or Sensual Sundays, I'm always available if you need something. So she knows, like, if she has a thought or an idea, or what do I think about this, or I'm having a bad day, I need a word, I'm always there. So every time she's ever, right, I've always been there for you every time.
There was one time I was so anxious and stressed out about something personal, and I messaged her, and she was like, I'm cooking dinner, but let me call you and let's talk this through. So it's even simple things like I just need to be like brought back in and stop worrying or stop being overwhelmed or whatever it is. I always know that I can message her and say, hey, this is what's going on. I'm thinking these things. Why? What's going on? Can you realize what my brain is telling me, that, you know, between my emotions and getting the best of myself. So she's always there to help, which is amazing, because I know the first thing I think of whenever I start to get like that is, oh my gosh, I need.
You what?
I said, every time I get to the point where I'm overwhelmed or too far into anxiety, I know that I need to message you and bring my so.
Yeah, and that one night and I had to, and I was like, your sister's going to be so upset because her sister, you know, first started out, and like I said, and so it's so funny. I'm like, when your sister finds out, I just said, I just got to talk to you, because I was cutting vegetables, and thank God I have a headset. I'm like, I can't, and she was in crisis. And I was like, I can't message you right now, but we're just going to have a conversation. So she was helping me I think I was making stew that night.
Yeah.
You helped me make stew while we went through this process and spent a little time together. And then we found out a lot, which was really cool. We had all this time beforehand, because what we're going to discuss now is her and her sister did a joint past life regression with me. Her sister came to visit her in San Diego, so I went to Courtney's house in San Diego, and I did a joint past life regression with her and her sister. So we were able to, like, even now we know a lot of things that she stresses over now is really things that happened in past life. So it helped her to basically see those things and witness those things. So we're not going to say what happened in her past life, but you can talk a little bit about what you want to talk about, because then her and her sister were going to do a Zoom meeting. Unless we could do Facebook. I think Facebook, we can do the Facebook group messages now. They do the group rooms on Facebook now, because I know it's hard for a lot of people to do Zoom. But if people have Facebook, on Facebook, they do the Facebook rooms where you can have, I just have to see how many people you can actually get in a room. But the good thing is I'm able to save all these things. So it's either going to be on Zoom that we advertise it, or on Facebook group room. And then we'll save it and put it on the YouTube channel as well. And before I go there, if all of you guys can go up to my YouTube, because I want to be able to stream live and do a show on YouTube as well. This is great, but we have a larger group of people that we can help there. if you guys could all go up to my YouTube channel, which is under Elena Servidio, and just like it and join it, that would be really cool. Because I don't have a computer. I do this on my phone. So as soon as I get 1,000 followers on YouTube, I can go live on YouTube.
Awesome.
With 1,000 followers on the phone. So explain what you want to talk about with this past life regression thing.
Oh, no, I was just saying that telling people we're going to do a joint live somehow. One way or another, we're going to do it. So, yeah, Zoom is a little complicated, but it's definitely doable. It's just people need to know to get on it. It's a totally different platform. You'd have to log in, and so Zoom can be a little bit more challenging to get people on. The other option I just thought of while I was sitting here is, since you're closer to me, if we meet somewhere and us two are in the same room and then actually can help.
Yeah, that would be cool. You could be we could do that. That's a better option.
Yeah,
I think that's a cooler option. So we could do it with everybody still on this, but you and I can be together, and then your sister can be.
Like, people know to get on here and stay on live with you already, so we might, since we might as well do that.
And you're only an hour from me anyway, so we can do that. We can figure that out. So we're going to be talking to her sister and hopefully setting something up for next week. Because what I want to do, if anybody has worked with me, I have a couple of people that I'm going to bring Karina on. She started her own, she's a designer and started her own nail company during this whole thing, but she's also an amazing designer. And I got to get her to start doing that. But see, now look at this. So here we have you, who's who's now a publicist and a virtual assistant, and you're planning weddings and things like that. Karina is an absolutely amazing designer, and I saw some of the dresses her sketchbook of wedding dresses that she had designed.
Ooh.
And it's one of those things where you look at it and you could just feel it, and they were just the most original, beautiful pieces. So listen, you guys don't have to go spend a whole ton of money on something that somebody else might be wearing. You're able to hook up with individual designers, especially ones that are starting out, that can look at you and your body and get the essence of who you are and design this dress that's your very own that nobody else will have, okay? And things like that. So that's how we can help each other, and she does nails. So things like that. Somebody needs to have their people get their nails done for their wedding or graduation, whatever the event is. You could say, I have somebody who will come to your home, or you could go there that can do your whole bridal party. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, definitely.
But just like she has people that she can send to you. So that's how we're all going to help each other. So weekly we're going to be spotlighting somebody that I've worked with. So if I have worked with you and you are progressing like you should, like Lucy's getting an impromptu, an early one. So because Lucy's setting up the website and everything else right now, and we're incorporating you guys and trying to develop her. So we're going to hear a little bit about it, but it's really, we're going to be listening to Lucy sing and entertain for us because she's coming out her box at the same time as announcing this competition. Which, if, like I said, I hope you did that. Is this a reading, Dominic? No. This is discussing, I've been working with Courtney for a while, so it's discussing how she did a life path and career path,
transition.
What do you call a life path, a session with me. And then she took what I told her in her session and other sessions I've had with her since then, and used the information I provided her to start her own business and do what she wanted to do. And now she's extremely happy. Just like when I told your buddy Ross the other day what he should be doing. But at the same time, I'm reading her a little bit because guess what? You're doing this. Mom, I'm a legend. I love you, Dominic. I know that you're a publicist now. So to me, if I have somebody that needs a publicist and I see who you're booking, I'm going to refer them to you. Do you understand what I'm saying? So call yourself what you are. You're a virtual assistant. You're an event planner. You are a publicist. This is what you do for a living, and that's what publicists do anyway. So that's what it's about. And we're going to discuss, her and her sister are going to come on live to discuss their past life regression. And their past life regression, they went back together, so you're not going to get any information on this right now.
Yeah, sorry.
Because the sister's got to be on with us. So you're going to have to come back and see us again. So hopefully maybe next week we can do that. Hopefully we can do that next week because I don't have COVID. You don't have COVID. And I have a face mask if you're going to make me wear a face mask. Otherwise, we could be 6 feet apart.
No.
Actually, not really because we have to sit next to each other. But we're good. You and I are good. You and I are good. We don't have to worry about this.
Me.
And my son likes your glasses. So both of them, because they were joined together during their sister past life regression, they laid, and I'm actually going to be posting the pictures I took and the pictures you took before that.
Yeah.
I'll send them to you first. I thought you saw those. But I actually joined them together with the crystal, hematite quartz and rose quartz beaded strand is what I actually joined them with, because in some of their past lives they were there together, and they went on a couple of their own journeys on their own.
We went through 3 past lives with my sister and I, and they were really, really interesting because at first I have anxiety. It's just the nature of the beast, and so I had a hard time allowing myself to get there. But once I did, it started to make more sense as I went through the different past lives. And it was crazy how I'll just share, like, I won't tell you what happened in the past lives, but when my sister and I were doing it together, she had us hold hands, and it was crazy to feel the energy between us when we were holding hands, how the energy fluctuated as we went through different past lives. And the ones that we were in together, we felt each other more in our bodies as they were in that state of mind while we were going through the past lives. So we weren't every past life together, but we were in one of them, definitely one of them, potentially 2. And it was really cool and eye-opening. It's crazy how some of the things you're dealing with now in this life is it's all backed by what happened in your past lives and what happened to you. So some of your fears, anxiety, some of the problems you have emotionally or with commitment, those types of things have actually came from incidences in your past life, which is really cool. So
which for Courtney helped her huge with some fears and anxiety she deals with now. So she sits there and remembers, okay, now I understand
where it comes from,
where this is coming from. So she's able to work with it. So we are going to be setting up a live, and it will be probably get it set up by Monday or Tuesday. We'll talk to your sister and see what it's going to be, and then I will put a post up for when we're going to be doing it, like we advertise this tonight.
Yep.
But yeah, and if you have any questions about it, Courtney's really cool. First of all, you should follow Courtney on her Instagram. What's your Instagram, Courtney?
It's Courtney Paige Kallfelz. You can just click on I don't know if you can click on my name from me being on the live, but I'll put it in the comments.
Yeah, put it in the comments, and then, or if you want me to send you a link to her, and I'll actually post it as well because I posted the link. Definitely follow her. There you go. Look how smart you are.
Got it.
So good. But do you have any questions about any sessions she's had? She loves to share.
Yeah.
She loves to share. Or if you need,
for everybody.
If you need any help with anything that you're doing, and you need her services, please. Thank you so much, Martini. Then absolutely you can talk to her. Huh?
I was telling Martini she should. I've always said every time I get on here, if I see anybody that's like questionable or like I need help, I always say, do it. Just book it with her. You won't regret it. It's super helpful. Yes, Ash, you're going to want to, everybody tune into our past life session whenever we do it. We'll go into detail about each past life from both of us, and Elena can help explain some of the things that we didn't understand, and she helped talk us through it. So you will
because
hear soon.
The coolest thing is I actually go through the past lives with you. So because I'm holding energy to make sure that you get help, that if I need to pull you out, if you get into trouble, because when you do a past life, thank you, Kinsey, or a soul retrieval, it's important that you have somebody that's holding space and energy for you because you're going through the experience. So if I see you getting in trouble, like Courtney, I was able to talk her past this one part where I knew she was getting really, really afraid. So I'm able to talk you through or pull you out if you get in trouble, because it really is important. You don't want to do like a past life regression or a soul retrieval with somebody who doesn't know what they're doing, or even attempt to try to do something because you heard a taping, because if you don't have somebody that is there to consciously pull you out, you can be stuck, because we go into your subconscious mind, which gets to your unconscious mind, which is the universal mind. So we're taking you to a place, so you're basically in this state traveling back in time, you know. And the coolest thing is, just so you know, I know you guys don't know that, but you can do a future one too
Oh, that
with your sister. I don't even know if I would let your sister do one of those though, because she gets too stressed out about her future.
I mean, I do too, but
Yeah. But you know what? We are getting ready. It's 25 seconds. We've been on an hour, but I love you to death. You guys follow her. If you want to book a session, you know how to get a hold of me, book a session, and you know I'm here for whatever you guys need.
thanks for having
Okay?
me on. And yeah, anybody who wants to ask me questions about my session or talk about what I do, feel free to message me, and I would love to chat.